Hello friends, welcome to ThinkerViews podcasts where we share our book reviews with you. Fantastic fiction is an all-time favorite genre for us at ThinkerViews, and we are always exploring various authors who create their own niche paths in this area. Sometimes, also termed as high fantasy, most of such works have their basis in established mythological or folk stories that have survived generations and tell the tale of gods and demigods and struggle between truth and lies, light and darkness. We have shared our views on multiple books like this from authors including Robert Jordan's, whose Wheel of Time series has its own fan following, or author Raymond E. Feist, whose Magician series is very popular with the readers. Some other books that we have recently reviewed include the Imperium Trilogy by Claire Legrand and The Branches of Time by Luca Rossi. You can find the book reviews for such books at our blog www.thinkerviews.com. You may have noted that most of these works are from authors based outside India. While there has been a popular resurgence of reinterpretation of Indian mythological tales by numerous authors, it is not very often that you find a modern writer creating a new world of stories that take familiar legacy concepts and weave them into a new tale. So it was delightful for us to find author Sangeeta Bahadur's Kaal Trilogy. We had bought the first book of this series a few years ago and can now share our reviews of the whole series with you, one by one. The first book in the Kaal Trilogy is named Jaal, and we had purchased it in the paperback version, so let us take a look at the cover page of this book, which is the gateway to the fictional story explored within. The cover page is not flooded with many elements from the story. In fact, if you look at the cover page, you only see a warrior wearing dark red attire and wielding a knife with menacing eyes full of rage. While the cheerful colors used in the design catch the user's attention, there is a scope for a lot of improvements and make the cover page really appealing by capturing more elements of the complex story that the author has created within the book. Let us now take a look at the storyline. The book starts with the shadows of prophecies coloring the days of the world that is largely unaware of the catastrophic beginnings of awakening of a god, an Adideva, who is stirring from his prison of dreams. Oshij, as he is known to the world, will rise, and his rising will bring inevitable destruction in its wake. In the southern kingdom of Kozhirupam, usurper Trishiras has just beheaded his king Paniman, and there is nothing left for Mahishi Vagdatta but to escape and eventually hide once she discovers that she is carrying Agneyi, a daughter and heir to the throne. In the northern regions, the rishis of Samyati Kul are aware of the signs that forecast birth of a special child. This is confirmed when a Marut brings the news of the birth of the Deva Nampriya, and Maharishi Pratishravas and his brothers are tasked with safety of this child. But already the tiny life is in danger, or shall we say lives, as the troop of serpents is already closing on the village. With help of a yaksha, they are systematically burning every house and killing everyone they come across. The rishis discover that they have a pair of twins to look after. In the battle between the rishis and Rudiraksha, one child is lost, and so it is that the boy Arihant is raised by the Samyatikul, while a girl, Rodra, is raised by Trishiras to become the weapon of Aushij. When Arihant is 15, a chance encounter brings him to the notice of the agents of the sleeping god, and he is hastily sent away from his home in the Janapad of Shringali. Trouble soon finds the young boy, but he also finds Bhutnath, a Malang, who becomes his second guru, and together they travel to the hill kingdom of Tilhut. Here, Arihant defeats 4 white demons to save the life of Crown Prince Brihadrat and discovers a darkness within himself and terrifying bloodlust, but saved by Bhutnath from succumbing to it. When Ripudaman, the alias they gave to protect Arihant's identity, and Bhutnath leave Tilhut, Brihadrat and a company of soldiers accompany them into Shvetkeshi mountains as escort. Little do they know that they would be attacked by a massive cluster of wolves, and just as they are getting over the massacre, Arihant is called by a creature of mystical powers, a tiger that is more than a tiger. It looks like the Mayavi beast will be the end of them, until Bhutnath disappears and takes the tiger with them. And so the leftover party of 5 carries forward, only to find that somehow they are traveling backwards. Soon they are taken captive by mystical people who live inside the mountain. As the attempts to escape fail, it looks like Arihant will become the sacrificial lamb. Instead, the Vakrini becomes the third guru for Arihant and takes his education to a new level, and with her help, Arihant becomes the young warrior that he is destined to be. As finally Arihant reaches the ashram of Rishi Advait and meets yet another prophesied friend, it is clear that wheels have been set in motion. Both sides are aware of each other's strengths, endgames, and attempting to get a better hand in their little battles, until the Mayadhipati will arise, and the Devanampriya and his or her companions will have to match their mentals with a god. And now let me share my thoughts on the book. I'll start by saying that I thoroughly enjoyed this fantastical world which has echoes of the Vedic lore and could have existed in somewhere similar to the Indian subcontinent in a slice of time that our collective memories have forgotten. While it is bound to bring back memories and ideas you may have come across in the religious and mythological stories, it is best to explore this book with an open mind and enjoy the wonder of what if. Author Sangeeta Bahadur weaves a complex tale with multiple protagonists like Dashkumar Charitam. We have Arihant, Rodra, Agneyi, Ritayu and Jayant. And then the supporting cast of Arihant's family, Bhutnath, Vagdatta and Shubhavarman, rishis of the Samyatikul, and not to forget the villains, who also are all calculating cold men, killing their kings and subjects with equal ease and little concern. And there are the multiple gurus of Arihant as he learns the lessons of life, spiritual strength of the Samyatikul, renunciation of Bhutnath, and the learnings of the universe, creation, and the formulation of Arihant from Vakrini. As he takes on the challenges of dismantling himself and being reborn, forged into a weapon that will stand a chance against a god called Aushij. We are all possibilities existing in the mind of the Nirgun and tend to be realized when circumstances fit each other in a certain way. But you are something more. All of Arihant's stay in Surangini is surreal, and his education and training more so, as the author uses rhyming verses to tell us the story of Vakrini and the ebbs and tides in the wars between Aushij and his enemies. I quite like the way author has molded the supernatural powers or siddhis into adbhavas granted by forms of Shakti. For example, Mahimangini gives Arihant Sukshima, the adbhava of invisibility. Armed with 8 adbhavas, Arihant can transcend all aspects of physical universe including space-time. He appears to have completed the journey to understand self and can now go back to the world where he is bound to run into traps set by Aushij. The author has created a beautiful setting and training sessions, and the sections are much enjoyable. While the celestial dance and Arihant's journey is the central thread, I also liked the stage of this world, and as it features the worlds from empires of northern Avrohan to southern Kozhirupam to the hilly kingdom of Tilhat and the democratic Janpad of Shringali, which stands as a beacon of simple living amongst its greedy neighbors. A complicated way of life does not necessarily make it either sophisticated or advanced. Is materialistic self-absorption sophisticated? Is regicide? True, the empire is rich and powerful, but given a choice, I would rather live in a country where I do not have to kowtow to a fellow human being simply because he sits in an ornate chair and wears jeweled headgear. The world may be moving in a different direction, but movement is not always growth. Sometimes it is simply madness, and madness is usually self-destructive. As this is the first book of the trilogy, we can see how it shows us the formative years of our young warriors and their various trainings and tutors. The book also does a great job of setting the stage for these characters, and one of the most enjoyable aspects of the book is the language itself. The author is writing an epic and so has tried to give us an epic style of writing by rich and beautiful detailing of this world and its characters. It is, however, not an easy or a fast read to be completed in a few hours of time. Instead, it is a book for readers who take their time overtaking the descriptions to build images of such world in their own minds and savor the details. However, the book could have used some more editing and shifting around of narratives to give it a little more space and pace, so that the trajectories of all characters is presented a bit more evenly, giving the reader more chances to stay with the tracks of all protagonists. So in summary, it is an impressive start of a fantastical world that is familiar and yet anew, and will suit readers who like complex, detailed, and richly imaginative fantastical tales. ThinkerViews rating for the book is at around 8 out of 10. Please do let us know if you enjoy fantasy and high fantasy genre books. Are there any authors that you like particularly and would like us to read and review their works here at ThinkerViews platforms? Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you can enjoy more audiobook review podcasts from ThinkerViews. And until the next time, thank you for listening.